Hi everyone, I'm Jessica J. Today I'm going to show you how I transplant a houseplant. I bought this violet as a mini in 1991 at a grocery store for 99 cents. And since then I have been keeping clippings of the same plant. So that's 28 years ago. So this one is probably a great-great-grandchild of the original plant. So you will need potting soil and a good quality pot. I aim to use a pot about 1 inch in diameter larger than the original pot that I'm taking the plant out of. And a pot that's usually a little deeper as well. I like to pick a pot that has drain holes. This one does, and it has a built-in drip saucer, I guess you could call it. And that's really important. I just went to the home and garden store yesterday to look for some new pots. And I noticed that all the new ceramic pots have no drain holes and no drip trays. I think the home and garden centers are cheaping out people. And now I could see in the home and garden center section that they were selling little rocks that I think they want people to put in the bottom of their pots. But I can tell you from experience that rocks in the bottom of a pot that does not drain is not the same, and your plant will not be near as happy. What I do is put a little bit of dirt in the bottom before I start. And then I gently am going to turn this plant right upside down. I'm going to put my fingers in the plant like this, like a web, and try and reach around the stem. So I'm sort of supporting it. And then I'm going to actually just literally hold it upside down and gently pull until it comes out like that. And once it does, then you just gently turn it over, put it in the new pot. Now, see how the plant is kind of wobbly? It's very wobbly, which means the stem could easily break. You're going to want to plant it deep enough in the new pot so it can't wobble. If it's wobbly, it could break off right at the stem and you have no house plant at all. So I'm going to take a little bit of dirt out of the bottom here so it can be deep enough. Ideally, my new pot I'm transplanting into should have been a little bit deeper. Okay, so we're going to gently put it in there. And then and put new dirt around your plant until it's all full. I like to repot my plants about once every year. I do it sort of as a spring cleaning duty. And I usually try to do it outdoors on my French porch or in the garage because as you can see it's a little bit messy. And about 2 minutes before I made this video, I had what I would call a YouTube fail. If you're having trouble getting dirt in the pot around the sides because your plant has low-hanging leaves, just use a spoon and take a little bit of dirt and just gently lift and go underneath like that with the spoon until you fill up the pot all the way around the edges. That's what I do anyways. Works pretty good. And then it is good to go for another year. You'll have happy plants. If any of these leaves break off during the process, because violets are very tender, then that happens sometimes and it's not the end of the world. person can actually take a leaf from the bottom, or anywhere really, like this, and plant it in the old pot about this deep. And if you water it every day till it gets established, you will get a new violet out of it. When your houseplants get dusty, or when they get dirty like they did today during a transplant, what I do is I rinse them with cold water in the sink. Now make sure it's cold water and just use a very gentle stream. If you don't have one of these spray things like I do, you can just gently use a cup or something and rinse off the leaves. I do it like this. Just really gently, just to get the dirt off, and then it gives it its first watering after being transplanted as well. And I leave it in the sink for a bit just to drain off. I then maybe put it on a towel or something on the island until it's done drying, and then it can go back in its place in the living room. Sometimes I put my large houseplants in the tub and do the same thing with them, except I put them on a towel first so you do not scratch the enamel of your tub. And just to let you know, my husband was having a little bit of a canary today when he saw me turning the houseplant on our countertop with the gritty soil underneath. So that was pretty funny. So maybe even you could use newspaper on the island if you're going to do it in the house. Here is a violet that I started from a clipping about 1.5 years ago, maybe a year ago. And I should have put him in a smaller pot sooner, but he's doing really well in here, and I just leave it. I have taken the little clipping that I made and planted him in the pot that I've put full of soil now. I couldn't use this one that I broke off by accident because his stem is too short. So he's a casualty of this process, and that's okay. And like I said, I will water him every day. I will be able to tell that he's staying happy because he will stay green and he won't wilt. And if he takes root, you will know because he will not die, I guess. And then once he's taken root, you can start watering him once a week, and hopefully you will have as good success growing violets as I do. Thanks everybody, have a good day. See ya!